because you're all about the show, and she's about actual, real working for the animals. Because you know what the first thing he said to her, and I was so disgusted by it? He's like asking her, is her dog food vegan? I'm like, she can barely afford to make ends meet for all these animals per month. And then she's in a third world country, practically, and he has the nerve to ask her if her dog food is vegan.
So I grew up on a lake, and when I was younger, things were a lot different. You know, we got to roam about and go play and be kids in a different sort of way. Now kids are very tightly monitored nowadays, but that's not the point. Anyway, when I was growing up, there was this one lady in our neighborhood. She had that yard that was fenced in with, you know, dozens of dogs. And, you know, that's that type of person that you knew was really in it for the animals. They were about that life. She would drive around looking for strays to rescue. And, you know, she wanted to do that. She wanted to save animals that needed a home and feed them. And that's what she did. And so nowadays we have people, and I've talked about this so much before, people grow up in these environments where they're not ever like doing anything constructive, like real work, you know, farming, whatever, just pick a skill. They haven't learned it. And so they're growing up behind the computer, and then when they become adults, this is what they become. Collectivists, activists who are just like really all about their own ego and themselves. And I got to give credit to Carnival, because he was the first one I ever heard use that word, collectivist. But that's what they are. Now I'm going to let this lady, Maggie Sargenta, who went on this Panama trip with James Aspey, his wife, and this dude Randy, they're all vegan, tell this story. And it proves what we've known all along about a lot of these vegan influencers. And I would say most of their following, of course, and you'll see what I mean by this in a moment. It is jaw-dropping. It is, I cannot even believe it. This is why I'm uploading this. Maybe I'll stop it and interject.
So it all kind of culminated after we visited this animal sanctuary with this amazing woman named Dorothy. We get there, and immediately we all start loving being around the animals. There's monkeys, like a possum type animal, a squirrel, goats, cats, dogs, a pony.
This is people. He's blind. His owner didn't want him anymore, so they called me and they said, Jungla, you want a blind pony? And I said, sure, yes. Why not? I'll take a blind. Oh, the dog. You know, they all wanted me to start this. And they left me. And it's like, wait a minute. Everybody wanted me to start this. I did. My retirement money isn't here. You know what I mean? You want me to do this, and I did it. You know, I love animals. But then they left me. So you have to, if you don't do this from the heart, get it. You're not going to get rich. You're not going to make money. You may not eat yourself, but...
Okay, so I don't mean to stop so quickly, but this is so ironic that she just said this. This amazing woman, Dorothy, I don't even know if she's vegan or not. It doesn't matter. You can tell what she's doing. She's doing it because she loves animals. She's put everything she has into taking care of animals that nobody wants. So they go there. Ironically, they're there on this trip, like doing this weird money scheme pyramid thing, which I'm not going to get into in this video. I will leave all the links. Maggie talks a lot more about that. She has 3 parts to a video talking about that. So I'll let her tell you all about that if you want to hear it. But yeah, I thought that was funny that this woman is actually going broke to take care of the animals and save the animals, and these collectivists, they are there to look sexy in their bikinis and to pander to their following and to, of course, make money.
Yeah. How can you say no? Look at all these eyes. Look at, they all call you all day, all these eyes.
Amazing.
You know, and look at, Look at how they treat you.
Yeah.
So nice.
They deserve the best.
They're just so thankful for anything you can do for them. You know, because they know they've been through. You know, and when you give them a little bit of love, you know, like you guys are with the monkeys and whatever, and they're hugging you and holding you and they're kissing you.
I never seen.
They appreciate it. They can't tell you enough how much they appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you show them a little bit of kindness. Wow, that's all they need.
Yeah. I never seen so many animals so friendly, so like wanting to give love to humans.
Oh, honey, it's a party every day. It's a big party. we party all day. Everything is fun all day. It's all fun.
They create the parties.
They create the party. That's it. They create the party.
Awesome.
Perfect. I couldn't have said it any better.
She's been doing this for 11 years. She's got a heart of gold. And she's just kind of like watching this, I think a little overwhelmed, but trying to like be nice because she kind of knows Randy. And he brought these people that he talks really highly about. So I'm like, okay, I pick up my camera and I was like, you seem to be enjoying the animals, James. Let's do like a documentary, like where you talk to Dorothy about her business and the animals and why she does this. So I just followed them around documenting them with the animals, and everyone had a great time. James posted a story of him lying in bed. Of course, it's always like him and his hot wife, you know, lying in bed and zooming in on the monkey area, and like posted all this stuff. Well, okay, the next day we go to lunch. We're leaving. Everyone had had a great time. We love Dorothy, really happy. We go to lunch. There's another activist that comes to lunch. She's fine. I didn't like connect with her as much. She starts bad-mouthing Dorothy immediately at lunch. And I left I left lunch because I was just like, first of all, you don't like say that with people you don't know, and like there's a way to tell people something than like attacking them, attacking their nature, and like making these claims that we don't know how things run in Panama. We don't actually, you know, it's just causing like doubt. And James like immediately was like, yeah, I felt like something was up with Dorothy. And I was like, James, it's because you didn't connect with her, because you're not her kind of person, because you're all about the show, and she's about actual, real working for the animals. Because you know what the first thing he said to her, and I was so disgusted by it, he's like asking her, is her dog food vegan? I'm like, she can barely afford to make ends meet for all these animals per month, and then she's in a third world country, practically, and he has the nerve to ask her if her dog food is vegan, and then go on like a bit of a fucking mansplaining rant about how, you know, he could look into places where he could get her vegan dog food, and like Dorothy, I was like watching her while he's talking it like this, and I was just like, you could tell like she was just like, okay, and like it was just got weird. And that's when I was like, okay, let's just make a documentary about like Dorothy. And she had to like hide the meat. She had to like feed the owls who had a broken beak that she was caring for meat. And she was like nervous to bring out the meat because like they only eat that. And it just like the whole thing like felt so. He'd play with the animals a little bit, and then he just left because he was cold.
He left because he was cold. This is what he used to look like, by the way, when he had iron in his body. And I know not even poor Maggie understands this, the nutritional aspect of all this. But yeah, of course he's cold. They all get cold. And, you know, his ego is so wrapped up in this that if he really knew what this diet was doing to his body, he would have quit a long time ago. By the way, look at the dog. I mean, he's scared to death. He's not enjoying this. Is James even enjoying this, though? Because this is what I mean by collectivist. This is what Carnival means. These are people that it all has to look good on paper. That's all that matters. They are so lost in this idea, this egoic reality. They can't even connect with other humans. They've forgotten that that's what this was supposed to be about to begin with. You know, humanity comes first, and this is the argument they never understand when they're using words like slavery and Holocaust and all of these trigger words, and they don't understand why that's a problem for people. It's not about the language. It's about the fact that humans come first. You can call it speciesist or whatever you want to call it, but a human life has more value than a chicken or a fish or a cow, okay? And see, Dorothy hasn't lost touch with this. By the way, Dorothy gave them a place to stay when they were there, free of charge. Keep this in mind. Keep in mind that Dorothy is not just some random that they happened upon when visiting the sanctuary. This is a friend of theirs.
And Nikki stayed, in her defense, she kind of stayed and talked to Dorothy and seemed like she really liked interacting one-on-one with the animals.
So this is a very important part right here. His collectivist followers, this is what they do, right? This is their activism. They look into stuff and they type and they accuse and point fingers.
What's up, everybody? I want to talk about the rescue and rehabilitation center that I went to the other day that I promoted on my Instagram and my Facebook. I believe that the owner of this place has very good intentions for these animals, but I've also read a lot of comments about people who have a lot of questions about this place, and so that has led me to compile a list of questions as well, which I've sent to the owner, and I'm looking forward to hearing back from her so that I can get to the bottom of what is happening at this place. I'm not going to talk about this publicly again until I have more answers. In the meantime, I've taken down my post just to err on the side of caution, and I will let you know what happens and what I learn. If you have any information that you'd like to share with me, please email me at peace@jamesaspey.com.au, and I hope to be able to tell you more very soon. Thank you.
After that, Nikki writes her an Instagram message demanding all of these questions, like when are you going to release the animals, where are, what's your paperwork, and basically kind of treating her like she was policing how she did her business, which none of us know how it works in Panama. We haven't been there for the past 11 years like Dorothy had, and honestly, I felt like it was none of our business. Who are we to be colonizing, coming into a different country, having a beautiful time where we stayed for free, and telling a woman how to do her business. Maybe if you don't like it, just take down the post, rather than putting up a second post, which James said he took down all his posts of him having fun with the animals, which he did, and issued an apology.
The freaking audacity. Oh man, I'm going to shut up because this video will be forever long, but like she said, it is absolutely none of their business. But then he couldn't just pander to his own followers and take down the post. No. Now he's got to go on some investigation and try to ruin this lady who's actually on the ground doing the work that you go and just take pictures of.
That he was looking into this woman's business now. And so you have all these people that don't know the true story, don't know anything about what's going on in the background. This poor woman who's doing her best with the limited resources that she has, attacking her online, trying to shut her down. I was honestly furious about the entire thing because Dorothy called me sobbing that day and telling me, the people the governing body is for these sorts of animal organizations. She's like, they're here every year, the animals are all over them. And she was saying how it's completely legitimate and everyone's attacking her for no reason. Randy says, the next thing we have to do, I believe, is to shut Dorothy down. And I was like, what? You're her friend, first of all. Didn't she help you when you broke up with your girlfriend? I heard that she helped your girlfriend get out of the country. Dorothy was helping both of you because she's kind. She helped you find your roommate, whom we're hanging out with right now. I was like, I could not believe the two-faced nature of it all. I was disgusted, but then I was like, how much do I actually kind of stand up right now? Because they were just on a witch hunt for just some hearsay from this activist that they didn't know if what she was saying was even true. And then all these people online, attacking her, and James wanted to be the hero. He always wants to be the hero. And he just ran this organization through the mud after staying for free in her place. And then the real sketchy thing happened was Randy had gotten some food. He's like, I'm going to get some animal food.
We have 180 pounds of horse food. We have corn for the chickens. We have some stuff for some rabbit food. We got cat food. We got dog food. We got seeds for the birds. We got papayas. We got everything. And it's a gift from us to you for all the hard work you're doing. Oh, of course, Dorothy. Thank you. The animals thank you. We thank you. So there you go.
Okay, and it's all an energy web. It's not actually out of James' pocket. So Randy tells me, he says, we got even more food. We got $300 worth of food. Well, guess what? Dorothy told me later that all that food wasn't from them. The food had been picked up by a drop-off point where people put bags of food. Dorothy had asked them to check it. And the person that gave the donation wrote their name in a Sharpie marker. And then Randy didn't want Dorothy to see him unloading it. And then so on camera, he's like, this is food given from the Aspeys. Half of it was given from another donor, and he flipped the bags upside down so Dorothy couldn't see the Sharpie marker on them. It's little shady, manipulative shit like this that tells you a lot about the type of character somebody is. Dorothy was trying to call them, and they wouldn't return her phone call. So they did all of this, but they never even talked to her once. After they threw her under the bus, got other followers to attack her, made her look really bad, they wouldn't even call her. And I was like, that's the coward thing. Well, like, they're placing photos online, eating acai bowls on the beach. You know, she's getting up at 3 in the morning to feed the birds, nocturnal birds, scrubbing cages, working this entire place with just her and her sons for no money. So I saw her house, I was in there, she barely has a coffee cup, she had nothing in her fridge. She's like, the money goes first to the animals, then...
So I'm going to have to cut this short due to time constraints, but I will go ahead and wrap up by telling you guys that this girl basically begged them to communicate with Dorothy. Dorothy was calling, crying, they weren't answering her calls. Meanwhile, they're doing what? Like, what lengths are they going to shut this lady down? So they're going to rescue the animals from the animal rescuer. And then what, James? And then what? Randy? Are you going to take care of them? You and your followers? No, absolutely not. It's like, that's what's so baffling. They all have these stories about how they rescued an animal. Where are these animals? Where are they? Who is taking care of? You have no damn idea. You have no idea. You want to stop the animals from going to the slaughterhouse and holding these vigils and stuff, but you're not willing to take on this responsibility. You realize there has to be boots on the ground, right? At some point. Imagine an army that is nothing but logistics. So anyway, they end up firing this girl. You know, cursing her out through text and what. Again, I'll put her video in the description. This is part 2 of her video. This last clip I'll show is, I think, one of their last interactions together before she got fired. And they wanted to go this vigil. And as she'll explain, it was mostly just a photo op. And she even goes on to describe how she would make them like Beyond Meat, some kind of dinner like that. And Nikki would go and make this inedible dish that just looked pretty for Instagram, taking a picture of that just to post. So basically what she's trying to say is it's all fake. It's not real. Like, this isn't their real life. This is all just a photo op, basically.
I don't think it's ethical to take pictures of these animals before they go to slaughter just for a photo op. I think it's honestly disgusting. And James had heard me saying this, although I didn't give my reasons, and he comes down and is like, well, Maggie, we really need the content, and if anything, this is really, really an important thing. And I said to Randy later, I was like, why do you want me to go? You know what he said? Not to turn people vegan, not for the animals. He says, James has been looking really bad on social media lately. People think he's flying business class, he's coming and staying at a resort, he's living it up, but if they see him with the animals, it's going to look good, and that's why we need your video. And I was just like, hell no, I knew that. I already knew that. I just wanted to hear you say it, Randy. And then you see on their Instagram stories Nikki with her selfies and her self-videos with the cows in the background, just to get like a teary-eyed Insta story. Did they go and talk to the owner of the slaughterhouse? Did they talk to the workers? Do they know like the dynamics around this slaughterhouse, why it exists? Do they want to like actually do the research it takes to maybe make change within the system? No. They just want to go and get their selfies with the cows that are about to die. I'm not here for you photo op poser vegans. You do it mainly because you want to police behavior and you want to make yourselves right. I made a Beyond Meat sausage lasagna, and guess who ate that? Both of them. Do you think that showed up on their social media? Nikki made this like quinoa pepper thing that she put on her social media, and I swear I tried it. I could not even eat it. I couldn't even eat that meal chopped up as part of my lasagna. It made my lasagna worse that I even used her pepper. She used some vinegar. They're all about illusions. So that's my story. Feel free to contact me, and thanks for watching. Bye.
They came looking for a dog and a monkey that we don't have, and they noticed Lolita. Well, Lolita stays in the rainforest, but Lolita sometimes likes to come and say hi, and then she goes back up. Well, they said that Lolita now, because I said she stays in the wild. I said, yeah, but she comes and she can run across here. So you need to put her in. They looked around and they said, okay, you have this habitat here. You need to put her in there. And I'm like, but I don't want to put her in there. It's too small.
Oh my God.
She doesn't, I want her out running around. I want her on the trees, and she goes around and catches her food and her bugs. And I said, I don't want to do this. But because of the, I don't know what's happening in this cyber war that's going on right now with all his followers trying to, that's after me. Lolita, I don't know what to do. I want her back out like she was. She was so happy. And she's got a little boyfriend, I think, out there. And now if they catch her out of there, I don't know. They said they're going to find me and possibly take the animals away. I don't know. I'm so confused right now. I don't know what happened. After 11 years, everything was so good, and now, I don't know. I challenged Randy, James, and Nikki to take this place for 24 hours. Let me go to the beach. Let me get some type of, I don't know, a little break, you know? And let me see you do this for 24 hours. That includes put your own money in. You stay here. You make sure everybody's fed. Everybody gets what they need. By the way, you've got to get up at 3:30, which they don't like that idea anyways. And you have to feed the nocturnal animals. Then you go back again at 4:30 until you sleep until what? I don't know, 8, and you're going to get up again. I want to see you do that. 24 hours. If you could do it more and give me another day vacation, that'd be great. Let me see. And they were like I was crazy.
Yeah,
like, what?
they couldn't do it without their phones and the selfies and showing everybody what a great job they were doing for the animals.